Hey guys, what is up? Big Reviews here. I am so very sorry I could not get a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood review up on Friday when we saw it. I was having internet problems where I was at. If you guys didn't know, I was in Chicago for 5 days for a family reunion. I brought Shane and Billy with me, and we actually saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Friday, and we filmed some after the movie. We meant to go home and film some, but then I had our reunion the next day, and we ended up going to bed early, and then it just slipped my mind because we had a very busy 2 days after that. So I came back today, and I wanted to do the review, just me. Shane and Billy aren't here. They wanted to go home for the day, which is completely understood. But I am going to right now show you the footage that I did take on the trip. There's some things that we mentioned in the video. It's only like a minute long, but here we go, and you'll see me in a little bit. Hey guys, what's up? Big Reviews here with Shane. Billy's over there. We're flying to Chicago right now for a family reunion, but we're going to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on Friday, and just look outside for a bit, and yeah, so next time you see us, it will be Friday, and we would have just walked out of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was going to edit some on the plane, but my Adobe fucked itself, so we're going to go ahead and let you go, and peace out. Alright y'all, it is Friday. We are going into
God, so windy. Oh no.
We're going into AMC to see it, and next time you see us, we will let you know how it is. So yeah, hey guys, what's up? We just got back out of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like 6 hours later, long ass movie. What do you guys think of it? That was his first Tarantino film. That was our first in theaters.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I can see why people say it's slow in the beginning.
So it's a long ass movie.
The ending is so worth it. Please go see it.
So the ending, so it's slow, but the two things are Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio's acting and the ending scene. That's what made me stay.
Made the movie.
There's a really good 3-minute one take with Bruce Lee and Cliff Booth, and it was really good camera work. I mean, but that's a Tarantino movie. We're gonna get back to you soon when we get back to the house. As you can probably guess, we never did get back to you guys at the house, but basically I'm just gonna go ahead and say what we all kind of thought and how I can see now, because I know some people don't like this movie, and I'm gonna dig into why people may not like that. But the one thing that stood out to me about this movie is this is Tarantino's funniest movie to me. This movie was basically almost all comedy, and it worked. There was nothing really that never made me laugh. Some of the comedy was subtle, but it worked so well. Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth were like a perfect duo. You understood their characters, and you understood the humor, and just them. There's like a scene. We're gonna start getting into spoilers now, but there's a scene where they're watching like one of his TV episodes, and then it shows the actual episode, but then you just hear them in the background narrating, and it's so funny just to hear them narrating over this, like, that was a nice jump, or that was a nice extra, or something like that. It was super funny. But like I said just now, Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio's performances alone in this movie keep you glued to the screen. Margot Robbie does a fantastic job of Sharon Tate also, but you don't really see a lot of her. Honestly, you mainly see Cliff in this movie a lot. There's a big portion of this movie that's just Cliff, and I really like that. He goes to Manson Farm and he brings that one girl back, and then he goes and sees his friend who's blind, and then then he's on the roof and he sees Charles Manson. That's like the only time you see Charles Manson, by the way, is that scene where he's walking up and then he waves to the guy. You don't see him a lot. And let's just go ahead and talk about why I think not a lot of people like this movie. It's very slow at times, but to me, I like those because it's character driven. So obviously you're gonna have those type of slow times. But I know a lot of my friends probably won't end up seeing this movie, and if they do, they probably won't like it, because our culture nowadays is so into I mean Marvel's my favorite franchise, like the superhero, nonstop action, which obviously I love, that I would prefer to see that, honestly, but I can sit down with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and respect it and actually enjoy it and not get bored. Now, were there times where I thought that he could some cuts could a cut of Rick Dalton for 20 minutes? Yeah, they could have cut it down a little bit, but honestly, it didn't really bother me that much. I was glued to the whole screen. And here we go. The final 20 minutes alone, 25 minutes, make up this, and when I say make up, I don't mean the movie sucked, but these 20 minutes were good. I meant it makes it worth the ticket alone. So basically, again, spoilers, if you don't know Tarantino, he likes to change history. So in Inglourious Basterds, he killed Hitler with a gun, when in real life, Hitler killed himself. 3 people go to Sharon Tate's house, but Rick Dalton is drunk as shit, and he comes outside and he tells them to go away, and then the kids recognize him from that TV show, and they decide to go kill him. But Cliff just took this acid cigarette, so he's there, and they come in, and Cliff's dog basically mauls the guy's nuts off, he mauls this other girl. Like, he's tearing at this one girl for like legit 2 minutes straight, and it's the funniest shit ever. And then he kills this one ginger girl, but he gets stabbed, but he's okay. And then Rick Dalton is in the pool just laying down, and she comes in after bleeding, and then she falls in the pool. It's all bloody. He gets out. He goes to the shed. You think he's going to go call the cops. He brings out the flamethrower from one of his TV shows where he was killing Nazis, and he burns her ass alive. And I was like, that's fucking Tarantino right there. And it was just so, like, we were all laughing. Everyone in the theater was laughing. I had a great time. Because I knew obviously Sharon Tate wasn't going to die in this movie because her sister would not have let him use her name and character, and her persona in this movie if they showed her murder. But the way they did it obviously always surprised me. And it's funny because then, Sharon Tate never died. And, well, that's not funny, but you know what I mean. Like, he changed history once again, and Rick Dalton gets invited to go meet Sharon Tate. It's all this happy thing. But there's some very, very good scenes. There's one of the probably my, like, cinematography-wise scenes is Cliff Booth fights Bruce Lee because they're talking shit to each other, and it's basically like it's legit, like, I count like a 2.5 minute one take, and it's just Bruce Lee. The actor who did Bruce Lee is phenomenal, first off, because he does this fat ass monologue where he's just talking to everyone, and then the camera's panning back and forth between Brad Pitt and Bruce Lee talking shit, and then they do all these, like, so they're basically doing best of 3 rounds. The first like 2 rounds are basically like in the one shot, and then it ends, and then it cuts right before the third because that's when Bruce Lee gets slammed into a damn car. But anyways, I just love this movie and all the characters. As always, Tarantino knows how to make drama and suspense just from dialogue. The whole time when Cliff went to Charles Manson's, like, when he went to the farm and they kept like, you can't come in there, like, well, let me know if he gets to the door, and then he goes towards the door, and you're just like, I was like, my heart was beating, and it wasn't even like, I was like, holy shit, because you don't know if Cliff's gonna die or survive. You don't know that. But overall, I would give this movie about an 8 out of 10. There's so much more I could say about it, but I really wanted to keep this short because, just like the Tarantino film, I don't want my video to drag on forever. How would I rank this on his things? Well, you might have to wait and see because we're gonna do a top, like, or ranking all Quentin Tarantino movies. The only 2 I haven't seen are Jackie Brown and Reservoir Dogs. Then I've seen all the other ones. Does this hold up to Pulp Fiction? No. Does it hold up to Inglourious Basterds or Django? No. Django's my favorite one. Is it better than Hateful Eight? In my opinion, yes. I think it's like number 4 or 5 on the list of his movies, which is like, it's not bad, but it's not like Pulp Fiction level. But I really love this movie. It was everything I expected and more. I love Leo and Brad Pitt together. I really hope they get to do some more stuff in the future. And just go Tarantino. This is my first Tarantino film in theaters, like I said in the video previous, and it was really an experience, and I felt the energy in there, and just I was like looking for all these quirks that I know Tarantino puts in his films. It's just, he has so much care for cinema, and you could tell by his writing and his, like, the way he does sets. He doesn't use CGI really at all, and he made the 1960s, knows all this stuff about music and movies, and it really shows in his final products, and he's never really had a shit movie. So I really love Quentin Tarantino. I think he's one of the best directors of our generation. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you're one of my friends watching right now and you're debating seeing it, I would say go see it because, number 1, you're seeing a Tarantino film in theaters, and number 2, you might end up liking it. And if you don't, there's some scenes that I know you still will definitely enjoy. I know if you won't like it, you're going to come out saying it's bad or it was way too long, which I perfectly understand. It wasn't like Endgame where it didn't feel like 3 hours. This one did feel like 3 hours, and you can see that as a good or bad way. It all comes down to your opinion. But again, if you're my friend, I highly recommend go see it. You'll get some good laughs. The final 30 minutes alone will have you dying. And yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, though, if you aren't one of my friends. And I will see you guys soon with, I think, a top 5. I'm waiting for this damn Joker trailer to drop, but I'm going to start rambling again because I really want to do some trailer reactions and breakdowns. But as always, guys, this has been Joey. Peace out.